Tennessee has produced a number of legends in the last 100 years, one of those being Chris Clark. Clark was an anchor here in Nashville for over 40 years, making him one of the longest-serving television personalities in state history. We sat down with him virtually to talk about the news, where it is, where it's been, and where it's going.
I got in the TV news business in 1961, and it was very easy to find a job back then.
If you fail to see the big news, you may miss something important.
Chris Botsaris began his 40-year career in black and white at a station in Albany, Georgia. He changed his name to get on TV.
Back in those days, in the 60s, you couldn't be on television news if you were female, if you were of color, or if you had sort of a funny-sounding last name.
Covering stories as small as fender benders and as big as the civil rights movement.
Mississippi cases will be followed up by the federal government.
We didn't discuss the Mississippi cases.
I hit that TV station just as Dr. Martin Luther King was coming to Albany to integrate Albany, Georgia. So I got to meet him, know him, interview him.
He moved from Albany to Atlanta, where his anchor competition was Tom Brokaw. But in 1966, Nashville came calling. This is when Clark began his 41-year tenure at News Channel 5, becoming a pioneer in the TV news industry.
Anything we did was like walking in a fresh field of snow. Nobody had ever done it before.
He questioned presidents.
Will you honor such a subpoena? Well, I think in response to that,
Helped to get cameras inside Tennessee courtrooms.
At complete trials we put on the cable television. That's almost a given.
And even gave one of Tennessee's favorite stars her big break.
He took a chance on me, however, and I thought that if I just, pretended to be Barbara Walters, whatever that meant for me, watching her on the Today Show at the time, that everything would work out.
You're watching News Channel 5 at 6 with Chris Clark.
Retiring from the TV news business in 2007, Clark is watching what is happening to the industry.
That's what we're seeing right now, an attack on the free press, the credibility of the free press. It was always assumed the press was telling the truth back in those days.
He says viewers should question everything.
As a news consumer ought to be skeptical. I welcome skepticism. Question what you see. And if it's the truth and if it's accurate, if it's right down the middle, then you'll find that out.
We talked about the future of journalism and challenges the next generation will face with the evolution of digital media.
Reporters, I think they have a lot of stories to turn now. They're going to have a lot more to do. So it's going to be really busy, and reporters are going to have a lot of skills fast out of the box.
And he offers this advice to those looking to become the Chris Clarks of tomorrow.
Be their observer and report on them, point with pride when they're right, and look at disdain when they're wrong.
A beloved anchor.
I'm 70 years old, and I've watched you all these years.
Oh, my Lord, you've been watching me since you were a little girl, haven't you?
Oh, no. Yes, I have.
Looking out for the next generation.